What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Endzone. Once again, it's your host, Craig.
Hey, boy, Ace.
And we're here to give you the updates on the NFL. Today, we don't actually have many updates, but what we do have is, by the time you watch this episode, Tyreek Hill will have met with the NFL, and they will discuss whatever disciplinary action, if any, that they're going to take. What's your prediction?
I'm predicting about 4 to 5 games.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get the minimum of 4 games.
Yeah,
I can't imagine anything less than that. I mean, the case isn't going any further. There is there's not any definitive proof that he did anything. And Ezekiel Elliott got 6.
Yeah,
and like there was like evidence that people lied. Exactly. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this, but he is meeting with them on Wednesday. It will be Thursday by the time this episode is. So you will definitely find out what's going to go on with him. And then I just found out before we came in, Jonah Williams, the first-round draft pick for the Cincinnati Bengals, offensive tackle, might miss the whole season.
Yeah, got hurt.
I didn't read it to see the injury. I just saw the update. I didn't have an opportunity to read it yet, but it's got to be an injury. So.
Yeah. But like we talked about last week or the week before with Tyreek Hill, it's like the police is not doing anything about it. But you know how NFL is. NFL has their own rules and regulations. They do their own investigations. So, if they're investigating something, you know that he's going to get some type of suspension. But it shouldn't be a lengthy one like everybody thought it was going to be, due to the simple fact is he did beat the case in court.
Correct. I definitely don't think – I think if he gets – I think it would be wrong for him to get a Kareem Hunt 8-game suspension. Yeah. Like Kareem Hunt got caught on video. There was no disputing what he did. There was a lot of different information with the Tyreek Hill situation, and it's always guilty and innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely.
I almost said it the real way, which is guilty until proven innocent. But we got to see what happens with that situation. Do you have any updates?
Only update about the pass interference.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah. The pass interference rule will be made official soon. I don't know. They made it official. They made it official.
That under 2 minutes, they can challenge a pass interference call.
Yeah, whether it's made or if it's not made. Now, do we like this rule? Or I think it's gonna take away from the game a little bit.
Yeah, like a lot of. Good thing they made it for under 2 minutes, so that makes it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, you can't. I feel as though personally, you can't challenge something that didn't happen. Like if you're challenging a pass interference call, all right, cool, you can challenge that.
Yeah.
But if they didn't throw the flag on a pass interference, then what's the point of challenging something that wasn't called?
Well, I agree with you. I think that it's gonna create a whole nother thing that if a play happens that was really good, or that could have been really good, and they need the yardage, they might not even think there was pass interference, but they'll throw the red flag. But at the end of the day, it's a red flag challenge. If you're wrong, you lose a timeout. 2, whether you're right or wrong, you do lose your challenge. So it's not like you can just say it. So I do like the fact that they have to use a challenge to do it. But I do think that.
But it's like. That's at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So say if you're, I'm playing versus you, it's 10 seconds left in the game, ball's on the 35-yard line going in, and we do a Hail Mary, and one of my guys get pushed from the back, fall from the ground. Mm-hmm. I can challenge that. Then the clock runs out. I can challenge that, get the ball on the 1, because that's a spot foul. Pass interference in the NFL is a spot foul. Get the ball on the 1, and I still get to run one more play. So it's kind of in terms of that type of stuff, it gets a little sticky because it's kind of how could you challenge a Hail Mary call? How could you challenge that?
It is the reason why this was instated was because of a no call. So the Saints, had they been able to throw the challenge flag on the no call, they make it to the Super Bowl.
But no calls are no calls.
Yeah, I do agree with the no calls and no calls.
I look at it like this: refs is human, and human beings make mistakes, and you can never leave it in the next human being's hands in order to make that mistake. So the Saints can blame that pass interference call, but I really don't, due to the simple fact is you shouldn't even let that happen. You shouldn't even let the game come down to that. Mm-hmm. So it's at the end of the day, you're just going to have to really blow a team out or be up at least 10 points at the end of the game in order for this not to affect you. But if it's a close game, and in NFL, there's always a lot of close games. So if it's a close game, then what do you do? Like,
I agree.
A lot of people's going to be complaining about, they got the challenge of pass interference call with no time on the clock and still get, because what people are missing is this, is like, the game doesn't end on a penalty like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I know.
Therefore, it's like you're going to get another play.
Yep.
So you're going to live to see another down, and that other down could jeopardize a win and a loss for you.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that I really don't agree on is that, because it's like football's a game of inches. And any inch, any play, anything can happen. And to let it go down to that, I don't really like that at all. I just rather them be like, okay, it's a no call, keep it moving. You lost the game.
Yeah.
Then the refs go review it later on, because refs watch film just like players watch film. They look at their missed calls and stuff like that. So if they miss that call, they review it later, and then they might not make the same mistake. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like you can't, like, a coach is going to always save that last minute challenge.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of calls that normally will get challenged won't get challenged because you'll probably save it for the end of the game.
You're hoping for that last 2 minutes.
Especially if it's in a close game, you're gonna save that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna use my challenge on a regular play, whereas I can do something in the last minute.
Yeah,
last
the only
30
time you
seconds.
would do that is if it's going to get you to the end zone.
Yeah.
You're not, but you will use it towards the end of the game to give yourself the potential advantage to win. And so that I do agree. There's a lot of problems with this call. I understand why it got made. The Saints' play was huge, but we can't say it enough on this show that. You can't leave it in the hands of refs. The refs do make mistakes. I'm a big believer in that a way to fix this problem is fining refs.
I like that.
You blow a call like that. That was a big blown call.
Yeah.
So you can't rely on refs, but refs need to be doing their job. That's where the ball was going, and you didn't see pass interference. Now, refs make like 6 figures a year. Some of them in the high 6 figures.
Some of them make a cool meal.
Yeah, so like you miss a call, say it's $1,000 penalty.
Yeah.
$1,000 might not be the worst thing for them, but they definitely don't want to pay no $1,000 for a missed call.
Yeah.
So now they'll be a little bit more attentive if it's going to hurt their wallet. That's
I like that.
Yeah, that was always my thought.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a little bit better than this pass interference.
Yeah, because it doesn't slow up the game.
Yep.
It just makes the refs want to be more mindful.
I like that.
That was always my plan.
Yeah.
Look at that. We agree on something.
Yeah,
Look at that. We're agreeing. You know it's right.
Yeah. So I would even boost it up to a good like $4,000 or $5,000. So
I didn't want to get overzealous, but I agree with you.
Yeah,
$5 grand
like
sounds
a
right.
$5,000 cap, because it's like, I don't care who you are, you don't want to lose out on $5,000 if you're only making 6 figures,
Or maybe it's like the first missed call is $1,000, and then once you get to say
frequent flyers.
Yeah, frequent flyers. Like if you pass 3 missed calls, it's $5,000 a miss.
Yeah.
Or a wrong call, whatever the case may be.
Just look at like NFL as a whole. Like there's a lot of, if you watch an NFL football game and you watch the players, you watch the trenches, there's a lot of calls that get missed. There could be holding calls every play. There could be pass interference calls every play. Yeah, you know
every sport. There's never been any such thing as even remotely close to perfect referees.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the way of the game, and it's always been that way. So I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough on how you look at it, because you're doing this over one team, and it's like, I personally feel like this rule will go into play this year as like a little test dummy.
Oh, no, it is. It's only a 1-year thing.
Yeah, and then they'll probably do away with it.
Yeah,
depending on how many teams that really affect.
Yeah.
Because people ain't going to like the backlash from it. You know, like, it's almost like you're already taking away from football, from the hitting, from different things like that. So it's like now you're taking away from it as a DB, as a defender.
And there's already not enough play time as it is.
Yeah.
And now you're adding to more stoppage in the time. I really don't. I agree. I don't like it. But I do know this, that it is only for the 2019 season.
Okay.
And if it ends up being something that helps, they'll probably keep it. But if it's ruining the game, it won't get reinstituted.
But think about it if you're playing
2020.
defense. Think about if you're playing defense and it's 10 seconds left and you know they're about to do a Hail Mary on you. Like, defenders hold all the time. Defenders do little tricks all the time. So it's like, you're really going to call that?
Yeah.
Then you're going to be so timid to not make that mistake that it's going to do away with your game in your mind. It's going to be almost like a mind game with you, because it's like, I can't really go up there and get it and jump with the receiver because there's a chance that they might call a pass interference.
And if I even make the slightest hold, because no matter what happens, in any game that it comes down to a Hail Mary pass, if that pass gets missed, the red flag's getting thrown by the team who misses it. If that ball gets caught, the defending team is throwing a flag, saying that they're going to say there was offensive pass interference. I feel like you'll always see a flag on a Hail Mary play. So we'll see what happens with that.
Hopefully this year it doesn't come down to Hail Mary plays, because if it comes down to any Hail Mary plays, I feel bad for either end. Like you said, either end, whether it's the offensive end or the defensive end.
One end is gonna get screwed through it. So we'll see what happens. All right, is that all we have for updates?
That's all we got for updates.
All right. So this week we decided that I would take the AFC, and AC will take the NFC, and we will decide our early prediction for the playoff bracket. And then we decided, why not let's just play out the bracket and see what we think is going to happen, and see which teams of ours will play each other in the Super Bowl, and see what we agree with and disagree with from each other. How you want to do it? You want to go down one by one, or do you want to do each side one at a time?
It doesn't matter. However it feels easier for you.
All right, let's go one at a time from the number one. Let's start from the wild card, work our way up.
Okay, so I'm going to speak off for the NFC from last year. Last year you had New Orleans, the 1 seed, Rams 2 seed, Chicago Bears 3 seed, Dallas 4 seed, Seattle 5, and Philly 6.
Yeah.
So that was last year.
Yeah.
So for everybody who didn't watch football last year and they want to catch up this year, that was last year.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, it's all good. And then, Philly was a 6 seed. They played versus Chicago. They beat Chicago. They moved on to the second round. New Orleans had to bye. Seattle played versus Dallas, the 4-5 seed. Dallas beat Seattle. They moved on to play the Rams. Rams was number 2 seed, had a bye. And then the Rams beat Dallas, and then New Orleans beat Philly, and then Rams beat New Orleans. So now we're going to a whole new year. So that's the swing of things in the NFC. Going down, I would say my 6th seed will be the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks will be my wild card 6th seed. I just feel as though their division got a little got a little weaker. I feel as though Pete Carroll is always going to be a great coach. I loved him ever since the USC. So I feel as though even though their defense is renewing, because they got rid of a lot of the older guys and they brought in younger guys, they brought in some new receivers, I think that they could make a push for a 6th seed in the NFC.
Okay. I'm actually surprised by that first choice, because I feel like outside of Russell Wilson, they don't really have an offense anymore. Doug Baldwin, gone, retired. You bring in DK Metcalf, and you have more. I mean, I feel like I do like Tyler Lockett. I feel like I always forget about Tyler Lockett, but I like Tyler Lockett. He kind of he took on that starting role, and he really kind of had a breakout season this past year.
Yep.
But I don't think that. I think Pete Carroll can always put together a defense. I agree with you 100% on that. The Seahawks were good because Pete Carroll knows how to put together a defense. But I don't believe that they have their running backs are suspect.
But look at their division.
Yeah, but I think that...
Who's going to challenge them in their division?
They're in the same division as the Rams, right? Mm-hmm. So you think that, it's wild card. So it wouldn't be their division who takes them out. It would be the other teams in alternate divisions.
But I'm just saying their division, they play versus those guys 2 times a year.
Yes.
And I feel as though in their division
is weak.
Yeah.
But when it comes to wild card, it's about the whole conference.
Yeah.
So to get that wild card, you have to be the 5th best in the entire conference. And I mean, Philly, they got a complete offense, decent defense. Atlanta has arguably one of the best offenses with their 3 wide receivers. And if Devontae Freeman returns to form, they become exceptionally dangerous.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like as though, like I said a couple weeks ago, like the Rams have an asterisk next to them this year.
They do.
Depending on what happens with Todd Gurley.
True.
So
they, you're right. They could. There's always the potential for them to move up. I think that's a bold prediction, and
that's why it's my list.
Exactly, that is a bold prediction. For my number 6 seed, I didn't do all the extra research he did. I wish I had done it because that would have been pretty freaking cool to go through what happened last year. But I'm going to follow up and say that the Baltimore Ravens repeat and get that wild card position. I would love to say that they make the top 4, but I don't think that they can get more wins than the Cleveland Browns. So I think Baltimore Ravens sneak back into the playoffs. Maybe instead of having 9 wins this year, they might surprise us and get 10, but I definitely think that they snatch up that wild card.
I think the Ravens could potentially be a 10-win team.
Yeah.
Again, another great defensive team.
Yep.
And then
and that's what's going to do it for them, their defense, and they added a run game, a real run game.
Yeah, and then you got Jackson. He's only getting better, so you know, I like that. I like that pick at 6.
Yeah, I think that that's probably the best lowest team that can make it in.
Okay.
All right, who you got at number 5?
At number 5, I'm going with Atlanta. I feel as though Atlanta, like you just were saying, Atlanta has arguably probably going to be one of the best offenses in the NFL this year.
Yep.
So I'm going with them at number 5 to make some noise. I think they got to bounce back from not making the playoffs last year and then making the Super Bowl the year before. So I think this year they put in the right pieces. They bulked up on that offensive line. They brought another receiver in. I think their defense got a little bit better, and I just think that they could make some noise at the 5 seed.
I don't disagree with that one bit. I think I always want Atlanta. I like Atlanta, except the one time we played them in the Super Bowl and came back to dominate the crap out of them. But I like that pick. Atlanta definitely, to me, is the comeback into the playoffs team this year. Not making the playoffs, I think that really humbled Matt Ryan as well as Julio Jones, and I think that they make the adjustments to make the playoffs.
And Julio's about to have a payday.
And that which is going to make him happy to continue playing for his team and know that he's going to finish out his career with Atlanta. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a happy team this season. For my number 5 pick, a lot of people will be surprised that I have him at 5 and not in the top 4, including my boy here. But I got Kansas City.
They should be in top 3.
I disagree with you because their run game is suspect. Damian Williams is not going to be number 1 running back. Neither is Carlos Hyde. Damian Williams is a career backup running back. He had 3 games that were built around him to succeed against the Patriots team that isn't very, I'm not going to deny it. They're not very good at stopping the run in most situations. Carlos Hyde has been suspect all last year. He had an iffy season. Tyreek Hill is up in the air. He's going to start the season off suspended at least 4 games. So now you got 4 games where your number 1 wide receiver is going to be Sammy Watkins. And I don't think Patrick Mahomes has the chops to bring this team together to win 4 games.
Did you watch that boy last year?
Yes, but he did it with Tyreek Hill.
But
now
did
he has
you watch
to do it
him last
without
year?
him. Yeah.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL. He might even surpass Brady at some point. But this year is going to be a slump. They're going to make the playoffs, absolutely, but I don't believe that they win their division.
You know who their coach is over there?
I do know who their coach is, and I believe that he is an excellent, high, top-of-the-line coach. But once again, I don't believe he is going to be able to bring it together. Andy Reid's been making
the playoffs every year since his Philly days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a team like that, they adjust. They rebuild.
Yeah.
They know, like we know, Hill's going to be out for a little bit, and you don't have to sit here and run the ball every play. So it's kind of like, but you're going to protect Patrick Mahomes. So therefore, it's like it's gonna be a lot. You're gonna see a lot more quick stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna see a lot of quick slants, quick outs, quick stuff. Because at the end of the day, they don't have that. I can hand off the ball, or they're more dynamic. You know.
Yeah.
So now they go one dimension where they got a receiving core that's pretty decent, and I think in that aspect of things, they can hold it down for a few games while this guy Tyreek Hill's out. And that's how my personal feeling is.
I don't disagree with you.
And their strength of schedule.
I just think that without Tyreek Hill and without a solid run game, I feel like there's going to be games that if they still had Kareem Hunt and if Tyreek Hill was in, I think that they would have a season like they had last year, almost undefeated. But without those guys, I think it's going to be harder for them to win, which is why I still have them in the playoffs. I just can't have them win in their division.
But if they're a 5 seed, I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
The way you have it, if they're a 5 seed going into the playoffs,
yes,
that's dangerous for the AFC.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that was a 13-win team last year,
and they're gonna have so much more to prove when it comes time for the playoffs. They could be just that more dangerous, and I think they will be that much more dangerous.
I think maybe the Cowboys. Back in the day, is it the Cowboys? Something like one of them teams won the Super Bowl off of being a wild card team.
Well, the New York Giants, the year they ruined our undefeated season.
That was the last team.
They were the wild card team.
Okay.
And they came all the way up to win the Super Bowl because they suck at life.
So you're thinking they're going to be like the New York Giants, in other words?
Not so much. But I do think that they'll make some things happen. Who do you got for the number 4? Who do you got winning the first division winner?
I got the Bears.
Yes, you do. Because that's the team right there.
I like the Bears a lot. I think they have a good, decent offense. A great quarterback who's on the up and coming. I think they made some good moves by getting the cornerback. I mean the safety from Green Bay, Adams.
Yes.
I think that secondary just got that much better. So
was it Adams or Unknows?
Unknows.
Yeah.
My fault. Unknows.
Yeah.
And it's like they already had the front 7. And now they got a little bit of a secondary now, so I think they're gonna make noise. And
their defense was already the best defense last year, and they've added pieces to it. Khalil Mack has now had a full off season with these guys, a full season to just get comfortable with this team. The Bears defense is going to be incredible. I like Mitchell Trubisky. I remember the Bears were so pissed that they drafted him. Not the Bears, but the fans of the Bears were so pissed at the drafting of Mitchell Trubisky. But boy, has that paid out.
Yeah. Now everybody loves him.
Yeah, everybody loves it. And I think didn't they add who'd they add I thought they added a running back. Was it a rookie? I don't know. I thought they added a decent running back, but I know they got rid of Jordan Howard, so they're opening up the way for Tyreek Cohen to get a little bit more featured work. I think that 100% I agree with you on this. I don't think any of the teams in that division even make the playoffs. So, and obviously you agreed with me on that part at least. So, all right, with me having winning the division is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that they are the team that beats out Kansas City. And the reason why is they do have an exceptionally strong run game. If Melvin Gordon is healthy and 100%, he's taken over that backfield. They have a lot of weapons, and Phillip Rivers is hungry. He's hungry for that attempt to make the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say that they make it to the Super Bowl, but I say that this might be the best run that they'll have ever. They got rid of dead weight and they made their team stronger. And I think that I think this is going to be the season that they make their best run.
Okay, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
I like the Chargers.
Yeah, I like the Chargers, man. Mm-hmm. I like Phillip Rivers. I think that he's just one of those dudes who plays with so much heart. You could just see how much he loves playing football. When he gets upset, when he's happy.
He just got to get a ring. That's the only thing he's missing.
I don't know if he's capable of it, but I'd be really happy to see Rivers get a ring. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, who you got? Who you got number 3?
At number 3, I got Dallas.
Damn right. Loving it.
I think they just they're playing in the beat-up division. You got Redskins, Philly, and the Giants.
Well, the Giants and the Redskins, we know, have no opportunity to do anything. And, I mean, Philly does have an opportunity if Carson Wentz stays healthy, but I definitely like Dallas.
If.
Yeah, it's a big if.
Yeah.
I think Dallas Cowboys have put together a team that likes to play together.
Yep.
So.
I like Dallas, though.
I love Dallas. Love me some Dallas. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper, that combination is exceptionally dangerous. So I think you made a real. I mean, when we first talked about early predictions, I said Dallas Cowboys going all the way. I think that's probably the boldest prediction anybody could have, but I like them. So I agree with you there. For me, number 3, New England Patriots. I had to put them on the list. They got to win. They're always going to win the division. I can't imagine a time when New England Patriots don't win the division. I can't even see that even if Brady goes away, as long as we have Bill Belichick. So I think that's all you got to say about that.
Yeah, there's no question about that. You don't even have to elaborate. So we're on number 2. My number 2, I got a surprise for you.
Okay, I like surprises.
I got Green Bay Packers at number 2.
But that can't be.
Why?
Because they're in the Bears division.
Yeah, but I put them there.
Okay.
To make the playoffs. I put them there.
All right, Green Bay.
Yeah.
But even though they don't have, I feel like Green Bay's offense is suspect. You
Aaron
think that they
Rodgers
can
is
make it
back.
all the way?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, Green Bay is my second favorite team of all time. I've liked Green Bay since I was a young kid. I was always a Brett Favre fan. Aaron Rodgers coming in, I like that. And so I'd like to see them make the playoffs, but I don't see that happening. But
Green Bay.
Anything's possible. All right, I have the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Indianapolis Colts have put together a strong team. They added Devin Funchess, and they got Paris Campbell for the wide receiver core. So I think that right there gives Andrew Luck the weapons he's been needing. He used to have Dante Moncrief, and he had the guy that we have now. Why can't I say his name? Who's that wide receiver we have?
From Green Bay?
Yeah, Philip Dorsett.
Dorsey.
They used to have Dorsett.
I said Dorsey.
Yeah.
I call him Dorsey all the time. Yeah.
Well, I don't think they've ever had anything to complement T.Y. Hilton in a long time. So I think that now that they have that, Marlon Mack's kind of coming into his own, taking over that backfield if he's healthy. And then they have Hines as the backup running back. I really think in that defense, that young defense has come a long way.
Yeah.
So I think the Indianapolis Colts take the division. Do you agree?
I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Jacksonville who could possibly take it over, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be Indy.
Yeah.
All right. Time for that number 1 seed. Who you got?
I got to go with the guy, Drew Brees, man.
Absolutely.
Breester. Last year they was a number 1 seed, and I feel like they're going back-to-back number 1 seeds. I think this team got what it takes.
Yeah.
Like you said, last year it came down to one play.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should come back hungry and ready to play and ready to try to get to the Super Bowl.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I love the Saints. Drew Brees is the man. I tell people all the time, the only thing that separates Drew Brees and Tom Brady from being in the same conversation, being is that they're literally 1 year apart, is that Brees just doesn't have the rings, and that's because he's never had the defense.
Yeah.
It's never been about his offense. It's never been about his ability to make plays. You can't, as a quarterback, you can't make the defense stop plays from happening. So I think that New Orleans Saints have one of the best chances of making it to the Super Bowl and winning it just because of how angry they are about what happened. I think they're going to be out for blood this season. And you know what? Some people would say letting Mark Ingram go was a mistake, but I think it's not. I think that's going to put the team on Alvin Kamara's back, and I think you're going to see an even better Alvin Kamara than you ever seen because it's going to be
to be free.
all on him. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have to worry about when he's going to get the ball. He knows that when he's on the field, the ball is going to come to him. So, I love that pick. And then mine, I think, for some people this is a surprise. For other people, I think, it might be obvious. But I have to put Cleveland Browns as the number 1 seed. And the reason why is this is a young team. This is a young team, but So wasn't Kansas City when they made it all the way to the AFC Championship. You know, you put Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, they're not young players. They are young, but they're technically veterans. And these two guys played together, so they have that connection. Baker Mayfield has that team spirit, and he wants to win. He wants to be the team that brings the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs for the first time. I also believe that their division isn't strong enough to beat them.
Okay.
And their defense is strong. They've put together an incredible defense. I find the Cleveland Browns to be I think the Cleveland Browns will be the toughest team to beat this year with the offense. They have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. After week 8, how do you stop that run game? So I don't know how anybody beats the Cleveland Browns this season. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cleveland Browns go 13-3.
13-3?
13-3.
Yeah, you're gonna speaking highly of them guys.
I'm speaking high. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm on the hype train. I'm riding the wave.
I like them being a 10-win team, but a number 1 seed, and I don't know. That's tough.
I mean, we admitted that had Baker Mayfield played, they would have absolutely made the playoffs. Yeah. Most likely, Now here's the thing: if they make the playoffs, they knock out Baltimore, so that's putting them in wild card contention. And who was the top team in their division that year? What was the team that made? Was it Baltimore? Was Baltimore not a wild card? Did they win the division?
I think Baltimore won the division.
Oh, so Baltimore won the division.
Last week. I think it was like that in the last 2 weeks.
So Cleveland would have actually been the 4.
Yeah.
So we're saying that Baker Mayfield starts the whole season, they're 4. Now they have Kareem Hunt and Odell Beckham, and we don't put them higher than 4 because they would have been 4. So they got to go higher than 4. I mean, 2 or 3, I can accept that, but I think it's got to be 1.
I'm gonna tell you the trick, right?
Yeah.
I like Cleveland, but the thing is this, what you got to realize too is last year, nobody had film on Baker Mayfield. Nobody saw what he was capable of doing.
Yeah.
This year, there's film on Baker Mayfield. So therefore, things are going to be different for him. So it's like,
that's true.
He's going to have to learn that system and learn it inside out. That's what makes the greats great. That's what makes Drew Brees great. That's what makes Tom Brady great. Because no matter how much film you got on them guys, then they know checks. They're going to the line checking it. They see a linebacker, they see a third-string cornerback covering a slot receiver. They're checking quick routes. They do things that will throw you off because it's chess, not checkers. So therefore, it's like NFL is a chess match. It's all about how much film you watch, how much time you put in. So with that being said, I think that there's a lot more film on Baker Mayfield, and there's a lot more ways to stop him, even though he's going to be great. I know he's going to be great. I'm not saying that. But what I'm trying to say is last year he was more free because he was a rookie. He didn't play first few games.
And no one knew what to expect.
Nobody knew what to expect out of him, and he came in winning with the winning mentality. Now this year, people are going to be at his neck because they know what he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
They're seeing his weaknesses and his strengths and stuff like that. And as a defensive coordinator, you got to adjust to that. You adjust to his playing style. And once you adjust to his playing style, then he becomes stoppable. Because last year, some of the things he was doing was unstoppable. But I think this year, there's going to be games where he's going to have to
unless he does become that quarterback and he can adjust in the game, and we'll see if that's
that takes time though.
It does.
That takes time.
It definitely does.
To read defenses and read schemes and that type of stuff, it's like it takes time. It's hard. You know what I mean? Because it's like you could do audible. You got to be able to audible at the line. If you want to be a great quarterback, you got to be able to audible at the line. Do your checks at the line, because you can call a play in the huddle, but 9 times out of 10 you're not running that play. You're looking for what the defense is going to be set up in. You might put a slot receiver to the outside. You might put him in motion to throw guys off. Things like that is things that you have to do to make yourself better and make yourself safe. What do you think? That's how Tom Brady's so good. Tom Brady's so good is because he can come to the line. That's what Peyton Manning used to do. People always used to hear Omaha.
Yeah.
What did Omaha mean? Omaha meaning they checking out of whatever they're doing and they're running a whole nother play.
Yep.
And that's what Tom Brady does.
Yeah, audible's
same
out
thing.
of coverage.
Audible out of coverage.
Yep.
He see you in one coverage, he's not running that same play. He's gonna put he's gonna spread Gronk out on you and throw it up to him or make him run a quick slant and make you have to tackle Gronk.
Yep.
And if you don't tackle him, he's taking off and getting yards at the catch. He's taking that 10, 15-yard play to a 30, 40-yard touchdown. And that's what made quarterbacks great. So Baker Mayfield, do your homework, study, and become great, and that's the best thing you can do.
No, I agree with you because I love how you said that, the audible out of coverage, because there was one time there was a comparison to what makes Brady better than Aaron Rodgers, because people a lot of times want to say Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL, but why does Tom Brady, make it so many playoffs? And it's not just the coaching. Brady sees it and he audibles out of coverage, where Aaron Rodgers uses his athleticism, and that's why he gets hurt more than Brady.
Yeah.
Because he relies on his athleticism, and Brady relies on his IQ, his football IQ. And so that's a perfect way of summing it up, is that Baker Mayfield needs to work on his football IQ and reading coverage. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's our beginning part of this whole little experiment we got going on. So now we need to do the wild card round.
Okay.
For me, going in the first round of the wild card, I got New England going up against Baltimore, and you know that my boys, they got to make it. So I got New England over Baltimore based on experience in Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
I like that. So my first round would be Seattle versus Dallas. Because I had Seattle 6 seed and Dallas 3.
Yep.
And I got Dallas beating Seattle.
Dallas beating Seattle. Absolutely. I love that. Then, in the next game of the wild card round, I have the LA Chargers against Kansas City. And like I said, I think Phillip Rivers is going to have the best run he's ever had. So I'm going to bring the LA Chargers in over Kansas City this year.
That game's going to come down to, if that game is so, it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last, because that's going to be the 100%.
shootout. It's going to be an absolute offensive battle. I think the only difference maker is I agree with you, come down to whoever has the ball last, and I think the Chargers have the better defense, so I think that they'll end up with the ball last.
Okay. And mine's, I got Atlanta at the 5, the Bears at the 4. I got the Bears beating them.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. I agree with that 100%. So now we're going to go into the next round. And that I have Indianapolis facing the LA Chargers. And I believe Indy takes this game.
You're speaking highly of the Chargers, and then you're going to let them go down to Indy?
And I'm gonna make them fall to Indy, because I think Andrew Luck has found that fire again, and I think we saw that last season, how well he started playing. As you get about halfway through the season, he started playing a lot better, and I think he's full health now. He has a lot better weapons. He has an offensive line, and he has a defense. I don't think that, like I said, I believe that this will be the best run that the Chargers ever had, but I don't believe they have the ability to make it to the end zone.
I would like Chargers to beat them.
I would too.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the Colts, because they used to be our rival because of Peyton Manning, and I've held on to that ever since. But
I like Phillip Rivers getting over that hump versus them.
It would be nice. It would be real nice to see him make it there. I just think that I think it's gonna fail. All right.
So my first round, or there'll be second round.
Yeah.
Would be Dallas versus the Saints, and I got the Saints to beat Dallas.
Oh, it hurts. I can't even disagree with you, but I want to so badly.
I feel as though Saints been there, done it.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is a team that's still trying to find themselves, still young guys, and I just feel like Drew Brees is gonna light them up. I feel it'll come down to it.
Like I said, the Saints are out for blood this year, so I have no doubt in my mind that whoever they face, they're probably going to beat, no matter what level of the playoffs they're in. So my next, the next round, same round. My next competition is the Cleveland Browns versus the New England Patriots. And as much as it hurts my heart to say this, I gave it to Cleveland. I don't know how much I believe this, but if I'm going to ride the Cleveland hype train, and I said in the beginning of this show, Cleveland is going to the bowl game. And if I say the Patriots beat them, Cleveland doesn't go to the bowl game. Side note, I also believe the New England Patriots make it to the Super Bowl, not the Cleveland Browns. But in this bracket, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns so that my prediction rings true.
You're contradicting yourself.
I'm contradicting the shit out of myself right now.
Wow.
But it's gotta be Cleveland in the Super Bowl so that my very first prediction is correct.
Listen.
Yeah.
You know Bill Belichick, right?
I do know Bill Belichick.
Okay.
And I know that this young team is not ready for what Bill Belichick is going to bring to them. But like I said, I made a prediction. Okay. I have to make it come true.
Okay. I won't even argue your point because if that was to happen, Patriots beat them by 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns?
Yes.
Okay. So now we know if the Cleveland Browns face New England, I say that they lose. But he says they win by 2 touchdowns. So we're going to see what happens with that one.
Yeah. So my next one, I got the Bears versus Green Bay. And I'm going Green Bay.
Wow.
I'm going Green Bay.
Woo. So you have a
cheese hat.
Okay.
Give me the cheese.
Okay. Wow. That's a Super Bowl that's an NFC championship that I would love to see. All right, so now we're down to the AFC NFC championship game. I have Cleveland going up against the Indianapolis Colts, and I guess you don't have to guess. I'm going with Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to make it to the bowl game and get there. Not only get to their first playoffs, but follow it up with the first Super Bowl.
Andrew Luck, don't you realize Andrew Luck is the only guy that gives the Patriots a hassle?
Yeah, that's why he won't be facing the Patriots in the playoffs because of the way they're seated.
But Tom Brady always prevails versus him.
Yeah, I know. So if they would have faced Indy, they might have made it to the AFC Championship against Cleveland, and then I would have still made them lose, unfortunately.
So me, I got New Orleans versus Green Bay, and I'm going with the Saints here.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, I just think the Saints was 1 play away from it last year. I think that they're going to rebound this year. I think Drew Brees is going to go out winning a championship and retire. I think this is going to be the last of what we see of Drew Brees and Tom Brady, but it's like, for Tom Brady, his legacy's already born, so it doesn't matter if he goes out with a championship or not.
As long as he makes the playoffs.
Yeah, that's all that matters. But he don't even have to make the playoffs for him to retire and his legacy to be good because it's already there. Cold cut. Nobody thought he was going to win another championship, and he did. So with that being said, like we said, these 2 guys damn near entered the league at the same time, 1 year apart. And I think that Drew Brees, he's the one that goes out with a championship. But TB12 don't. So that's my feeling. I don't care who he got on that side. I just feel as though, again, that this is Drew Brees' year because last year he was 1 play away, but Tom Brady got that ring. So this year I think that he's going to have a lot of fire. They're going to work on their mistakes that they did. They're not going to leave it in the ref's hands. They're not going to worry about the challenge, the 2-minute challenge penalty, PI challenge penalty. I think they're going to go out there and finish what he started in New Orleans because Drew Brees brought that whole city back when he won that first trip with them. Nobody expected him to do that. It was after Hurricane Katrina. People were sleeping in the Superdome and all this stuff like that, and then he actually won a championship for them in that same year. So I feel as though for him to go out, he's going to go out on top with a ship, and then he's going to have a better legacy than what people think he's going to have with going out with a ship.
Okay. So with that being said, so you did something that I didn't do. I did something that you didn't do. And I just wanted, because I made a prediction and I want to finish off my prediction. And since you didn't come to my conclusion, I have to come to my conclusion on my own. I did have the Saints at number 1, and but I had the Rams at number 2. I did have Dallas at 3, Chicago at 4. I didn't have Atlanta at 5. I had them at 6, and I had Philly instead of the
Philly will be 1 play away all season from their season tanking.
Yeah.
Because let guy get hurt. If he gets hurt, it's over with.
But you know what I did like? I almost want to say take out Philly and put Green Bay into the wild card. I almost like that instead of Philly. I wasn't really thinking about putting Green Bay in it, but I could always substitute Green Bay for Philly. But I'm gonna keep it Philly because that's what I did. And then I had Philly and Atlanta both losing in the wild card round. I had Atlanta losing to the Cowboys, and I had Philly losing to Chicago. So then I get Dallas and St. Louis, and because of the Todd Gurley situation, Dallas beat St. Louis, and I think that absolutely New Orleans beat Chicago. But at the end of the day, I made a prediction. I have to keep it true, and Dallas stops New Orleans. No penalties, no nothing. It comes down to whoever has the ball last, and I believe it will be Dallas because I said so.
And honestly, the reason why I put the Bears and Green Bay playing versus each other in the playoffs because they open up this year, for people that don't know, it's a 100-year anniversary of the NFL. And Green Bay and Chicago Bears open up versus each other on a Thursday night. They open up the NFL game. So why not see them play again in the playoffs for the 100-year anniversary?
That would be amazing.
That's how I perceived it as, and that's why I put it like that. So that's why I wanted to make a little twist and turn.
No, that's that, and it would be an interesting combination to see them see each other in the playoffs and have seen each other in the first game of the season. I think that would be really cool. It would have a big nostalgia, and that game would probably be one of the best playoff games of the season because of the implications that it has.
The history that they have versus each other.
Yeah. So I absolutely do like that. So now we have to break this down. I got Cleveland and you got New Orleans, and only one team can win. And I believe that my team wins because they have the higher caliber offense, and I believe they actually have the better defense as well.
You think they have a higher caliber offense than the New Orleans Saints, who averages 30 to 40 points a game? The Cleveland Browns haven't done anything. That's what I want you to understand. They haven't done anything. You're going off of on paper.
Yes, on paper is all I can go off of right now.
Exactly. But these guys haven't proved themselves.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to tell you versus the New England Patriots. These guys haven't proved themselves. You got to it's an early projection, so that's why it's fun. We don't know. It could go any which way.
Go anyway.
Anyone can win this,
Could be freaking Broncos.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, I feel as though there's only two guys that's worthy of a championship this year. That's either one, Tom Brady, or two, Drew Brees. And my third, if I was to say, would be Phillip Rivers. The only reason why I'm saying these guys, because these guys ain't got much left in the tank.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to go out like that. And I think, as far as we said, New Orleans, basically, we could say they got gypped. You could say anything you want. I would say it was just good football and a bad call.
Yeah.
But it happens all the time, so you really can't stress that.
100% good football, bad call.
So it's like, that's the only reason why I'm rocking with New Orleans so heavy, is because I feel as though everybody knows this is Drew Brees last year. Everybody knows this is Tom Brady's last year. Everybody knows Phillip Rivers probably got another 2 years left, maybe 3. So it's kind of like these guys got to make noise. They got to make it happen before it happens. And, I just love watching Drew Brees. I love him as a person. I love everything he stands for. He's a family man. I like how he has his interviews. He's always with his kids and stuff like that. He's a stand-up dude. He's not.
No, he is.
You know what I mean? When Hurricane Katrina happened, he put some of his salary on the line to rebuild the houses and stuff like that. He's always been that stand-up guy to me, and that's why I always followed his career, and that's why I always really liked him. And you're talking high-powered offense. Well, Saints proved to be a high-powered offense. They've been proven to be a high-powered offense day in and day out for the last 3-4 years. So it's kind of like Cleveland. I understand you like them a lot. I like Cleveland. I like them a lot. I love them. But I feel as though this year, they're going to make some noise. But I don't think they're going to go as far as we think. If they even make the playoffs, that's a bonus because they haven't been in the playoffs in the last
over a decade.
Yeah, and they haven't had more than one or two wins a season over the last 5-10 years.
Last year was the first game they've won in many years. So
exactly, more than 2-3 games. Yeah. So it's kind of like anything that they do, it's going to be great. If they go out there and win 9 games, that's great for them because they haven't did that in so long.
Correct.
And if they win 10 games, that's even better because they haven't did that in so long. So I feel as though this Cleveland team, now if we're talking next year, when we on the show next year, I'll be riding them. I'm riding that horse to the country road. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you.
This year, I feel as though they got to gel more, and I think they got time to do it. I'm not knocking them. I'm not
No, I understand
anything,
what you're saying. The
but
inexperience of playing together and some of the inexperience of them not being in the NFL that long. But my
playoff
thing
football.
is comparison on paper. You know, Odell Beckham and Michael Thomas, they're pretty.
Michael Thomas.
I think they're pretty even. I don't think I would put one of them over the other. I mean, Odell Beckham was before he got hurt, he was considered number 2 in the NFL, and Michael Thomas is definitely top 5. But I would literally put them in the same exact category.
But you can't though.
What do you mean?
Because
you can. They're both top 5.
I like Odell.
Yeah.
But I don't like the diva Odell. And,
Yeah,
and the
but
thing about it is
that's
this.
not about the play.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I can say this because, you know, Michael Thomas has a better quarterback throwing him the ball
Absolutely.
than Odell.
Absolutely.
His whole career. So, like, now Odell got Baker. Yes, we like Baker, but what if Baker go down? Then what?
What if Drew Brees goes down?
How much do you see him go down?
That's true.
Name one season that Drew Brees went down.
I don't think there is a season
because
where
they
Drew Brees
protect
went down.
him.
Yeah, they protect him very well.
Try. He's like a Tom Brady. He don't go outside his box.
Yeah.
He had audible a play before he come and let you blitz him and kill him.
True.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you is like, that's the perseverance that I'm talking about. Is that?
But look how even last year, even though Odell Beckham wasn't like a top, I don't think he was top 5 last year in the wide receiver position, but he was top 10, and his quarterback sucked. Baker Mayfield does not suck. Baker Mayfield's a lot better. And now you have Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry had to be number 1 last year. Now with Odell Beckham, he gets to drop to number 2, which is gonna open him up for more receptions.
I say this.
Yeah.
If it's almost slim to none to players making the NFL. So if you're an NFL player, like, don't matter if your quarterback's God, but you're not, you got to make it happen. Look
That's
at D
true.
Hop. D Hop made it happen his whole career.
Yeah, but D Hop is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Like
But you're saying people throwing him the ball, he still gets 1,000 yards no matter who's throwing him the ball.
Yeah, correct.
Man, you can go out there and throw him the ball, and he still
But
get
Jarvis
1,000.
Landry is nowhere close to being a DeAndre Hopkins. Jarvis Landry might be a top 20, but Odell Beckham, I will give you that. D-Hop, I would never put D-Hop, I would never put Odell close to D-Hop because he couldn't do what D-Hop could do with any quarterback.
Yeah.
But he has a way better quarterback than he did have, so his production goes up. They not only have one high-level running back, but they now have 2. I mean, Nick Chubb is not number 1 literally, but he's a number 1 running back. And then now you add Kareem Hunt, who is a top 10 running back. So now you have 2 running backs that are high level, and once week 8 comes, that run game is going to explode. So now, and then they have an up-and-coming tight end. They have Antonio Callaway is going to be breaking away deep balls all week.
You hear what you keep saying?
Yeah.
Everything you're saying is up and coming, up and coming.
Yeah.
That means them boys ain't got it yet. You got to let them gel for a year or 2.
But neither did Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was his first year as a starting quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes was in a different situation. That team was already built. They brought him in there.
Tyreek Hill was his second year.
But what I'm saying is Tyreek Hill was proven since he came into the league. You get what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes had Andy Reid as his his coach.
Yeah, the coaching is a
like
different situation.
coaching is the whole different situation.
Yeah, the coaching.
Like you have Andy Reid. He coached Michael Vick. He coached Donovan McNabb. He knows how to fit to a QB's playing style.
But I wouldn't say that the Saints have a better coaching than necessary. I'm not.
Sean Payton?
How many championships does Sean Payton have?
But he's always have winning seasons and make it to the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. You can win. You can have a winning season every season for 20 years straight. If you only got 1 Super Bowl, that means nothing.
That means a lot. You know how hard it is to win the Super Bowl ring, especially when you got someone like.
I don't know. We do it 7 times.
Especially especially when you got someone like Tom Brady that got 5.
Yeah.
You know how hard that is. Like you don't see that. You don't see that often.
And
you get what I'm saying? You're playing you're coaching versus Bill Belichick. It's like. I don't know. I just think when it comes to me, no particular order. Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, those guys right there already solidified themselves as top-notch coaches in the NFL, along with Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll should have 2 rings if he wasn't stupid and didn't give Marshawn Lynch the ball. Then he would have 2 rings, and that'd be a different conversation. So it's kind of like, in those sense of things, it's like, football's again by the game of inches.
Yeah.
That inch killed them because instead of them giving to the best running back, they throw a pass. Patriots pick it. Patriots have another ring under their
Correct.
belt. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
it could have been a whole different conversation.
Exactly.
When Marshawn Lynch gets the ball. Now let's flip it. Let's flip it. We've been talking a lot about Baker Mayfield and Drew Brees, Odell Beckham, Michael Thomas, but let's flip it. Who's got the better defense? Defense wins championships, and I think Cleveland Browns defense is far above that of the Saints.
I agree with you, and I totally agree with you on their defense, and defense wins championships. But again, you got Drew Brees. Drew Brees slice and dice every defense up there.
It is.
You get what I'm saying?
It's a problem.
It's different when you got. It's different when you got. Again, Drew Brees. Like, it's not like you got Joe Smo over here. You got Drew Brees, who's like, all right, you have a show on fantasy football.
Yeah.
Who's your always top? Who will be your top fantasy quarterback?
Oh, Drew Brees is Drew Brees. It goes for me. It's like Patrick Mahomes and then Drew Brees. You know, maybe I might sneak in Andrew Luck in between them, but I like Drew Brees as one of the top 5 fantasy football quarterbacks in the NFL.
He's
hands
always
down.
top 2
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah. He usually.
But he
is.
also throws. Again, he throws the
Because
ball.
he throws a lot.
30, 40 times a game.
Yeah.
But now you got Alvin Kamara now. He knows his role.
And they got Jared Cook, so they have a tight end that they haven't had in a long time.
It's easy to do. Like I told you before, it's easy to. It's like Tom Brady did it for so many years. Sometimes they don't even run the ball like that because they can throw the ball, depending on who they're playing. They're throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game. Why?
Yeah.
Because they can easily spread you out, do a little quick play action, throw you off, and just dump it and let the receivers do the work or let the running back do the work. That's the difference. I'm not saying Drew Brees is going down the field throwing 60, 70-yard bombs. Like, no.
Yeah.
A lot of times, his receivers get yards after the catch. More so,
of course.
They're just catching his 40, 50-yard passes. Like, no. They catch them short balls and take it deep,
Yeah.
So, in that aspect of things, it's tough. Like, and that's how we gotta look at it.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, we won't get into the full discussion. If I had done what I should have done as a true fan, and it's the Patriots versus the Saints, which is the Super Bowl I think everybody wants to see.
Yep.
Do you still think the Saints win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I can agree with that one either because if the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I just got to say that they're going to win. But, all right, with that being said, our time's running low. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. You can see we put a lot of work into it, and we have similar opinions, different opinions, strong opinions, and whatever else may be. But we're always going to have content for you no matter what. We're always going to bring you something and try to give you something to enjoy to listen to, especially for an hour's worth of time. But time is low. We just want to remind you, check us out on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Check out our website, Gym Bag Entertainment.
Up and coming.
Content is coming soon. Up and coming like Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
And then we got our social media accounts. Instagram, it's _gymbag. At gymbag_ENT. We have the Facebook is at gymbagENT, and we have the Twitter account at gyment. So please check us out and help us build this up because without you, nothing is possible.
Absolutely. Like, share, and subscribe.
All right.
Checking out.
We
Catch us in the
appreciate you.
Endzone.
Have a good night.